Hey, hope you and your family had a nice Thanksgiving. Started watching The Santa Clauses, loving it so far. Have you seen it yet? And what are your thoughts on it and the whole franchise? So my thoughts on the franchise as a whole, I have a ranking of the 3 movies, so I don't want to repeat that too much. You can hear my thoughts on the movies. The video's a year or 2 old. I think it was from 2020. And in general, we normally watch the original Santa Claus each December. Don't watch the sequel so much. It's not a movie I grew up with, but it's a movie that's been around for almost 30 years. It came out when I was like 14, so I was probably starting to be on the older end to be super into it. So not a movie I have nostalgia for, but one that has turned into a movie that I watch every December. Have I watched The Santa Clauses? Yes, I have watched The Santa Clauses. We finally caught up on it just a couple days ago. And, it's fine. It's good enough. I suppose it feels like if you were to take that franchise, that style of humor that they first came up with in 95 and move it to 2022, 27 years later, it feels like, yeah, that's what this is kind of like. And they've always kind of had a certain kind of cringy type of humor in there, certain type of like pop culture references and stuff that if you grew up with some of those references, it probably doesn't like make you roll your eyes so much as if you watch it now, maybe you could roll your eyes at some of them. I've heard some people like, oh, it just doesn't have the magic that it had once before. It's like, right. But you were also 8 when you first watched it. You were 4 when you first watched it. So, something plays a little bit different for you when you're a little kid. On a plot level, I think they've got some ideas in there that are interesting enough about Santa and retiring and what's next. I mean, it's always been kind of a goofy, convoluted mythology. And so, they're playing some of that out and they're having a reason why his son from the original films doesn't want to come back and take over. So it makes enough sense. It's interesting enough. I'm not like loving it. The intro sequence is bizarre though. Like freaks my wife out every time that it starts doing the intro thing. So I don't know. I don't have anything terribly interesting to say about it. It feels like a modernized version that has what you assume that would feel like. So it's fine. We're gonna keep watching it. We seem to be having enough fun watching it.